Manifestation. What's it all about? How do we feel about it? What the hell is an SP? And should we be concerned?
My person is absolutely madly in love with me. They cannot stop thinking about me. I'm always on their mind, morning, noon, and night. I'm the first thing they think about when they wake up. I am love. I feel love.
Try not to have manifest such as telling yourself, he or she will come to me. If they will come to you, when will they get there? No. They are already with you.
Something I realized, when I had almost given up on my journey, was that while I was too scared to message my SP, I call him my boyfriend in my head, he. I realized that I would also be skeptical if he messaged me first. Skeptical because of how he treated me in the past. If I'm God of my reality, and it would make me upset that my boyfriend messaged me, then why would he? So I had to change that.
I write scenes with my SP, wedding scene, anniversary, I move into his house. I write in present tense. I already have it. We are in our bed. I write about his smell.
I read all these scenes every day before sleeping.
I would consider myself much more cynical than I am spiritual. So manifestation isn't really my kind of thing in terms of looking to adopt it anytime soon. However, it does sort of fascinate me. Things like this really fascinate me. And I also do understand why people turn to things like this, especially if they're having a tough time of things. And there's lots of different ways we can be having a difficult time. And sometimes, no matter what we do, there's not a lot that will change the situation. You know, it might be that we've tried really hard to do things that are more tangible to help ourselves out and improve our, mindset, or whatever, our mental health during a difficult time. But nothing's changing, nothing's happening, so we can get quite desperate, and even the most cynical of us can turn to slightly more, let's say, alternative options or viewpoints, or suspend our disbelief for a while and just be like, well, hang on a minute, what if? And I'm so desperate for any kind of solution, I will do anything. You never know. What if I could concentrate really, really hard and make these things happen? Yeah, personally, I'm not inclined to believe any of this. I'd like to think that it's totally harmless, but I had this feeling before I did my recent little shallow dive into the whole subject that it probably wasn't all, and no, I don't find it to be all harmless. I find some of it to be quite alarming. Yeah, my brief foray into the subject matter led me to some manifestation, law of attraction Reddit, which have been extremely interesting and somewhat alarming.
I write about his smell.
And also to YouTube. The only person I've watched so far is Roxy Talks, so that's who I want to react to today by way of demonstration of my point here. But I don't know if she's particularly problematic. I will say that she is very professional. Her presentation style, her cadence, her warmth, her pacing. She's very engaging. She's quite relaxing and comforting. She looks beautiful. She has gorgeous makeup, a lovely warm aesthetic set, and she clearly has a lot going for her. She gets a lot of positive comments, so a lot of people must get a lot out of watching her and really enjoy her content. So I'm not here to do a total bashing on Roxy. There's a lot I like about her. I also feel there's moments in what she's saying where you see a little bit of conscience come through, where she's slightly more uncomfortable talking about this SP concept, which we'll get into, and she slightly backtracks or clarifies. But then, she has said the original thing and she is talking about SP manifestation, so grey area. But she's extremely likeable, so I totally get why she's got a big following. Anyway, there's an immediate call to action to look into her coaching options.
I'm Roxy Lee. I am a mindset coach, and I'm here to help you banish your negative thinking and limiting doubts so you can bring joy, clarity, and love into your life. If you would like one-on-one coaching to discuss your specific issues, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching in the description below.
That immediately gave me a slight red flag moment, because it gave me a real feeling of business gurus, fitness gurus, wealth gurus, and, selling free courses. And, then there's a a follow-up to then pay for something, or you can't quite learn everything unless you then pay for it. You know, that can be very expensive and all this kind of thing. So I had a little look at Roxy's courses. I also can't find anywhere that she has particular qualifications, but she does have a bachelor's in behavioral science, so I guess that is relevant at least. But yeah, when you look at the pricing, I do feel a little bit cynical again. I feel pretty cynical about it, because for a 30-minute private session, it's $250 for 30 minutes. And I just, unless there's, it doesn't say that there is, but unless there's an email exchange beforehand to bring her up to speed on your life, I don't see how 30 minutes is enough time to explain your life and your situation, who I am, my circumstance. You know, when you've never met anyone before, it takes a little time, and no refunds as well, by the way. 45-minute private session, $375. 60-minute private session, $500. I mean, depending on what the exchange rate is looking like, I feel like for a qualified therapist, you'd pay anywhere from £60 to £120 for 1 hour. Half an hour for $250 seems like a lot, but you know, just thought I'd explore that. Didn't think I could just let that pass, because I can't help but feel a little bit like, oh, that's tricky. That is tricky, because I mean, you're really not guaranteed any results. Anyway, let's move on from that, I guess.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, manifesting a specific person is a huge topic. This is what most people want to know about. And I have a little bit of a hang up with it, because I'm such a, confidence supporting type person. I really want everyone to just like love themselves and be the star of their own show. But I've come to realize that a lot of people place their self-worth and their own value in other people's hands. They put it outside of themselves. They're looking for approval and love from the outside world in order to validate them. And it just can't work that way, because we know on this channel, we say everything flows out from within. So it has to start here first. This world is a mirror.
Okay, so that's the thing that I find often happens with these videos since I've been watching them, is that there'll be something said that makes me go, oh no, that doesn't sound good. And then there'll be something said straight afterwards where I go, okay, well, it's been clarified a little bit. And I think it's kind of interesting that Roxy starts off by saying she's not that comfortable with the whole SP thing, which I realise now I didn't actually explain. SP means specific person, and there's a lot of stuff to do with manifesting that's to do with manifesting your specific person. But bear in mind, this person can be someone you know, an ex, someone who's treated you badly even, but that you have decided you're meant to be together, or that you want to be with them, and you have made them your specific person, and you can have not spoken to them for years, or like 6 months, let's say. Like, I've literally seen this be said. You can not have spoken to them or heard from them for 6 months. They might even have what is referred to as a third party, which could literally be a partner, right? And you're still imagining yourself with them and manifesting them, and also the right version of them to end up being with the right version of you is a whole thing. So you are fixating on someone who might just not be attracted to you. No ill will, or it doesn't mean they don't like you. They just don't want to be with you because they don't have that feeling. And they might have gone off with their life. You're not really around each other. They're not thinking about you. And you are imagining you're getting messages from them. Because the way the manifesting works, you have to imagine it's already happening. So if you're feeling bad, you haven't heard from them for a while, for example, you just have to imagine that you've just got a text from them saying, oh, I hope you have a nice night, sleep well.
You're just telling a story. Once you've kind of cleaned up the ideas, cleaned up the language, cleaned up your manifestation a little bit, then start giving yourself what you need energetically. Give yourself the text messages you need. Give yourself the phone conversations. Give yourself the dates that you need. Live out your relationship energetically, meaning in your mind, knowing that it's done, feeling it, being it, living it, not questioning it, allowing it to be, opening up the answer channel and closing down the question channel, and show the universe exactly how you want to be communicated with. I'll show you how easy it is. Watch. Oh, my husband texted me. He's so cute. He wished me a good night. Anyways, back to this. This is how easy it is. So now, whenever I'm worried about, where is this person? Hold on. I just got a text from him. I just read it. I just looked at my phone. He said, good night. I'll talk to you soon. I'm thinking about you. I just got it. What am I saying? He's not talking. Well, I literally just got a text from him.
And then you go, oh, that's nice. They've messaged me. They're thinking about me. They haven't. They haven't. They're not thinking about you probably. They'd probably be really weirded out and uneasy and, ooh, it's creepy to think that someone's imagining they're having an interaction with you and they're not. Even imagining that they're sitting next to you. That's weird, that's so weird. Anyway, this is the whole thing I have an issue with, is the specific person concept.
And a mirror can only reflect what you put in front of it. So if you don't put love in front of that mirror, that's not what you're going to get back. Now, before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you know.
She's really good at call to action. Do you know what, though? Regards the special person issue, there is another video which I'll insert too, where again you can tell she's slightly uneasy with the special person thing, and she does always reiterate this idea of coming back to yourself, making it about yourself, which then causes these issues of self-blame and it's not the method, it's you issues, which I think could also be a whole other avenue to go down with this. But because I can tell that Roxy's slightly uneasy about it, and I guess she did behavioral sciences and she talks about doing some criminal stuff too, she even says she's very uneasy with the word obsession or obsessed or obsessive. She feels like it's a dangerous word.
How do you make someone obsessed with you? And part two, is that bad? The language you are using is what is manifesting. That's my personal belief. So if you use a word like obsessed, not good. That's scary to me. That's scary. You might not know this. I was a criminal justice minor. Okay, that's the other thing I studied in college besides behavioral science. Obsession is not a healthy emotion.
Because of the implications, it could lead to, I presume she's thinking about stalking or something awful like that. However, I just don't understand how it's dangerous for you to think about your SP as being obsessed with you, because obsessed with implies something that could become something dangerous. However, how are you as the person doing this manifesting not obsessed with them? How are you not? Even if they're not talking to you, or they are talking to you but they don't want to be in a relationship with you, or you've been in a relationship and it was bad, but you're thinking about them all the time. And even if you're, oh my god, I'm just getting thoughts of all these pieces of Roxy's video that just stood out to me, because another video she said, even if you're fighting with them and they're disrespecting you and being horrible to you, then you just have to pretend that they're not, that it's fine, we're acting, we're playing, he doesn't really mean it.
But don't forget that while you're fighting back, you still need to be doing the damage control in here. You need to be saying things like, oh, we're so funny, or this is just for now. We're just getting some steam off our chest. This isn't real. We're just acting out a play. We're doing a movie or whatever. I don't know. Damage control.
Everything's okay. This isn't really happening. They don't really mean that they love me unconditionally. They're not really being disrespectful. They respect me. And that's what your reaction is supposed to be to them disrespecting you. How is that not dangerous? In the same video, Roxy does say things like, you know, that you should have self-respect and you shouldn't let people disrespect you and it all comes back to you. And so I can tell that she's got some reservations about this kind of thing, but she doesn't want to say, forget your SP, just move on, think they're not good enough, they don't put up with this sort of thing. She doesn't want to explicitly say that, I think, because this specific person element of manifestation seems to be a really hot topic and then really important. And the idea that you can get this person, you know, it has to be possible because manifestation is possible and it's a thing, right? So if you manifest the right version of them, you will get it if you do it the right way. There's a lot of mental gymnastics that goes on these videos, honestly. I cannot, because it's really, oh my, it's really struggling to justify itself and explain itself, but not be too risky. And she talked about people bringing this up and saying, you know, is this really okay to think about someone like this? Is it manipulating them? Is it bad karma to be basically obsessing over this other person? And she was saying that no, because the version of them you're manifesting is someone that wants to be with you, so it's not manipulative, was the kind of gist of that explanation.
The free will argument for me doesn't really hold weight when it comes to manifesting a specific person or manifesting anything really, because there are so many multiple versions of every single person out there. So if the version I have of them now, I don't really like, or they don't really like me, okay, I'm not going to manipulate them. I have no interest in changing that person's mind. What I do have an interest in is manifesting them to be a different version.
Even if this person ended up being with you, how would they feel if they found out that this had been going on all this time? I just don't know how you wouldn't feel uneasy about it. And it's kind of baffling to me, honestly. The problem with it is this specific person idea is so often a person you already know or know of. I thought when I first heard about it that it was just going to be like, how do I manifest my soulmate, whoever they may be and whatever they may look like? No, it's not though. It's someone actually that you know and you're not with. So how are you not obsessing over this person? I just do not understand. And to just justify it by saying, well, because the version of them that you've manifested is the version that wants to be with you is nuts. And, is it infringing on their free will? I mean, it's like... By the way, as well, I'd like to take a moment to read you the disclaimer at the bottom of these videos. And again, I'm sure anyone who makes videos on manifestation has to say this kind of thing. If you have to put this kind of disclaimer under a video, it does make me feel, are you saying something that could be interpreted in a way that is going to have an extremely negative outcome? Just because you didn't mean it that way, or you can say I didn't mean it that way. If it's available for interpretation that way, it already seems kind of dangerous and dodgy. So the disclaimer reads, all information in this video is intended for general information purposes only. By watching this, you agree that all your decisions, based on an application of the information contained in this video, is by your own personal choice. By watching this, you agree you do not hold Roxy Talks LLC or Roxy directly or indirectly liable for any claim or third-party claim, death, injury, or personal or physical damage as a result of the use, interpretation, or application of the information contained in this video. I mean, if that's not like if someone watches these videos and starts harassing someone, it's not my fault, I don't know what is. Oh, liable for any claim or third-party claim, death, injury, or personal physical damage. Surely, if you're saying something harmless, you don't need to put that kind of disclaimer on just a YouTube video giving some advice. Like, it concerns me. I don't see how it's not slightly alarming and dangerous. Anyway, that's all I can do for now. There's just so much to say, so I'll probably do more. I just got really sort of inspired by this subject, and I was kind of alarmed and shocked, but also really intrigued. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
A person's free will.